The only difference between your heroes and you is the willingness and ability to step into the discomfort. The fear of getting negative feedback is the single biggest reason why people don't share, create, and post more. Finding your passion does not have to be hard. Understanding what you should be doing with your life and how you can be serving other people is one of the greatest gifts you can give not just yourself, but your family, your community, the world around you.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Belief Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and his top 10 rules for success. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Don't fear judgment.
The fear of getting negative feedback is the single biggest reason why people don't share, create, and post more. You're afraid of what people who aren't chasing their dreams down think of you, and it's preventing you from chasing your own dreams down. That needs to end. You're ready for more. It's time, and this video will show you how. So last night on my Twitch stream, I had a woman join me in the comments who was saying, I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. I'm afraid of moving forward and taking action like I need to because I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. I'm afraid I'm going to get judged. I'm afraid people are going to laugh at me. I'm just going to say the wrong thing. And this is a bucket that a lot of people fall into. Every time I make a video, I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. Every time I get on stage, I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing, especially when it's a live format. I'm doing an interview, or I'm on stage, or I'm helping somebody. I'm always afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing because my number one fear is disappointing people. And so this is a trap we fall into is we know we're capable of more. We know we're capable of helping. I know I'm capable of helping. But because you're afraid of saying the wrong thing, because you're afraid of letting somebody down, because you're afraid of giving the wrong advice, what ends up happening is you don't do anything. You have your foot in the gas and the brake at the same time. So your tires are spinning, but you're not moving anywhere. And you have to learn to let go of the brake, because otherwise you're stuck in this loop of knowing that you're capable of more, of knowing you have a gift that can help people and truly make an impact, but you never start because you're afraid of negative feedback, because you're afraid that people won't like what you put out there. You can't let that fear run your life, or you'll never accomplish the big things that you want.
Rule number 2, learn from different people.
You will never achieve your goals by listening to people who haven't done it for themselves. That sounds pretty common sense, but it's actually what most people do. Chances are you're the most ambitious person that you know. You've got the biggest dreams of the people that you hang around with. And if you keep listening to the people who are too afraid to chase down their dreams, you're going to become one of them. So one of my favorite things to do is I love learning different things from different people. There is no one person who can teach you how to be you, but you can pull different things from different people to learn how to be the best version of you. That's your entire goal. How do I become me? How do I become the best Evan Carmichael? How do you become the best you? And that comes from pulling and learning from different people, different things. Look at the people behind me on my wall. Everybody's here because of a different story. And in the middle is me and my parents. I'm 8 or 9 years old in this picture. My parents are above me. And I have this on my wall because my parents taught me to believe in myself. They taught me that I'm Evan Carmichael. I could do anything that I believe that I can. And my aspirations, my dream, what I love to do is people to learn how to be a father like my father was to me. So I've got a son. I want to be a great father to him like my father was to me. I've also got Steve Jobs up on my wall right here, right? And I love having Steve Jobs on my wall because I want to learn how to be a visionary like Steve Jobs. I'm working like this every day. My computer's here, and I got Steve Jobs staring me down, right? Every day when I walk in and start working, he's staring me down because I want to be thinking bigger. I want to be having a big vision, big dream, big goals like Steve Jobs was. I don't want to be a visionary like my father because he isn't one. And I don't want to be a father like Steve Jobs because he wasn't a very good one. But I want to be the best Evan Carmichael by taking something from Steve Jobs and something from my dad and something from Kanye on the Fall World Air and something from A.P. Giannini, right? Something from Howard Schultz. I want to pull different things from different people to help me become the best me. And the mistake that we make is we keep listening to people who haven't done the thing that we want to do and trusting their judgment. I don't want to take parenting advice from Steve Jobs. And I'm not going to take vision building advice from my father, right? With total respect. There are things that you love about your friends. There's things that you can learn from them and you want to be around them and that can make you better. Amazing. But if you're sharing your dreams and they haven't done anything big and they don't have aspirations and they don't want to go off and accomplish anything huge themselves and they're too afraid to chase down their ideas, those aren't the people who you need to be listening to for advice. You need to surround yourself with people who will push you, who you aspire to be like, and who you want to learn something from.
Rule number 3, work hard and smart.
Too many people think that the secret to success is just waking up an hour earlier. If you weren't productive with the 16 hours that you are awake, what makes you think that by adding a 17th hour when you are more tired is actually going to make a difference? The problem is that you're losing too much time during the day. We're going to fix that in this video. So I'm constantly looking at how I can work smarter. I'm constantly looking at how I can hack myself, hack my schedule to get more done, be more productive, be more efficient, and work towards building the life that I want to continue to build. This week is actually a great example. I've made a change in my calendar this week where I've always done different things on different days. Where, Monday's my mentoring day, and Tuesday's my YouTube day, and Wednesday's my project day, and Thursday's my interview public facing day, and Friday is my CEO day, and Saturday is my fun day, and Sunday is my family admin day, right? And that's what happens every day as long as I'm here in Toronto and not speaking or on tour somewhere. I made a shift where I was reading an article over the weekend talking about how some people are better in the morning at being in research mode, in intellectual mode, in planning mode, and better in the afternoon at more creative mode, talking to people mode. And I resonated with that. Even when I make these videos, I've shifted over the past couple weeks to making my videos in the afternoon. I find when I make my videos in the afternoon, I have more energy, it's more fun, I look forward to it more. And when I make a video in the morning, I have to force myself to bring the energy more. So in the morning, I'm less energetic, I'm less outgoing, I'm less willing to talk to people, and I'll do it if I need to, but I'd much prefer doing it in the afternoon. And so now I'm applying that across all of my days as much as possible. So in the morning chunk, I'm spending my time doing planning and researching and intellectual and data gathering and processing. And in the afternoon is when I'm spending my time doing Instagram lives and making videos and meetings and talking to people and mentoring and that kind of stuff. And so it's a test, it's an experiment that I'm going through right now. And so far, I'm kind of liking it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it prescriptive yet and if I'm gonna apply it to everything yet, but so far, I'm really liking it. And I think that's constantly the hack because hard work is important. You have to work hard. Hard work though is just your ticket in. It's not enough just to work hard. There's lots of people who work hard, but then don't accomplish anything, who don't ever get their goals or dreams. There's people who just work smart and that's not the ticket either. Right? Just working smart is not enough either. It's that combination of working really hard, but working on the right things that move your business forward.
Rule number 4, find your purpose.
Finding your passion does not have to be hard. Understanding what you should be doing with your life and how you can be serving other people is one of the greatest gifts you can give not just yourself, but your family, your community, the world around you. But if you write off finding your passion as being too difficult, not worthwhile, too expensive, too scary, that you can't do it, then you cheat yourself of that amazing gift and you will never be happy. We're gonna fix that in this video. So I wrote this book, Built to Serve, and I did it because I was on my tour last year. I hit 90 days, 23 different cities, and I went for a different reason. I went on my tour talking about how to build momentum in your life and your business. And what I kept coming back with in every city was, how do I find my passion? How do I find my purpose? How do I know what I'm supposed to do with my life? In every city, the same thing kept happening over and over and over and over and over again. And so I don't think the right thing to do is slam people for asking the question of how do I find my passion. I think the better answer is to actually give them a process, to give people a solution. And it just blew my mind how difficult people make it on themselves, and they feel like they need to meditate for years, they need to hire some super expensive coach. They feel like it's hopeless and they'll never figure it out because they look at the people around them and you see, well, the people around you haven't figured it out, so how am I going to figure it out? And if your parents haven't figured it out, why are you listening to them to help you figure out your purpose and your passion, what you're supposed to do? It doesn't have to be that difficult. And I started going through this process with people when I met them at my different groups and my speaking gigs in each of the cities that I went to. And the most memorable one was in San Jose, where I walk people through this process of who I how. And just the first question was like, hey, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know how to find my passion. And I walked them through the who I how process. And then that person started crying and in a great way, like, wow, finally having some clarity. And then the rest of the Q&A basically was me doing the same thing for the people. Who I have. And now people have clarity and momentum where they didn't have it before. And so it's why I wrote the book. It's why I'm making videos like this. It's because I want to share the process with you so that you can find your clarity, you can find your passion, you can find your purpose, and turn it into something that builds a happy life for you and for the people around you for the rest of your life. It's one of the most important things. If you figure this out, understand that this will never get old. Finding your passion, finding your purpose, those two things will never get old. You'll love doing those things for the rest of your life. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, I've created a special free program called 254 because the science says that it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So what I'm going to do is send you an unlisted video to your email every day for 254 days for free to help your confidence and self-belief shift forward. The link to join is in the description below.
If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it.
Don't worry what the first step is. People write in and say, what's my first? It doesn't matter. Something. Do something, and then do something again tomorrow, and do something again the next day, and every day you get a little bit better. They're great because they can help you, one, navigate the waters of dealing with publishers and creating a proposal that's really going to win, because you might only get one shot with a publisher, especially as a new author. And if your proposal sucks, they likely won't want to look at it again unless you've done something dramatic on your audience size to really build up notoriety around yourself.
Rule number 5, push through the pain.
You are capable of more. I just want to tell you, to remind you that you are capable of more. That this struggle that's in front of you right now, that seems all-encompassing and impossible to overcome, it's not your max. You can handle it. Because if this is your max, then you don't grow. And you don't become the person that you know you're capable of becoming. This video will help. So the most pain I went through was when I was on my tour last year and I broke my neck. I broke my neck, I fainted and hit my head on the wall and broke my neck in 2 spots. I compressed my spine. I had a concussion, which I've never had in my life before. And they put me in a neck brace. They put me in these, and I wore this one for 50 days or so, and this one for 10 or something like that. It was 60 days of wearing something like this and only being able to take it off for 10 minutes a day. That's it. So I had to sleep in this. I had to shower in this. I had to do my speaking gigs in this. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's duct tape on here because this one was more comfortable than this one. And so, like, I really didn't want to break this one, but just from use, right? From having it on all day long, eventually it broke, and my wife taped it up and she wrote here, "I love you. Get well soon. Love, Nina," kind of like a cast. Anyway, this is the most painful thing that I had to go through. And the day I broke my neck, I was supposed to be doing my speaking gig in Colorado, and we had to cancel that because obviously I can't do it while I'm in the hospital. But then came a really important time. What do I do next? I don't know how long a concussion lasts. I don't know how I'm going to deal with the pain. I haven't really broken a bone in my body before, let alone 2 in my neck. I didn't know how safe it was to travel, still do my speaking gigs. And the advice was rest and go home. You can't get on a plane because of the compression, but just drive home. Just rest and go home. And, you know, my agent wanted me to do it. The doctors wanted me to do it. Like, I'm not going to go home. I don't want to go home. This is my chance to show myself what I'm made of. This is my chance to see what I can do. Let me at least try. Let me at least try. And it's very rare that we actually get pushed to our limits, like our actual limits. You're pushed to your physical limits and you can't do anything more. And so my initial thought was, well, forget that. I mean, everybody who was supposed to come, let's just do something tomorrow. Look, this is what I was thinking. Let's do something tomorrow in our Airbnb and just have them come over, and I'll lie down on the couch or the bed and they can ask me questions. I'm here to give value, guys. I'm here to help. Let's go. Helping entrepreneurs is going to be healing for me. And the doctor's like, yeah, you can't do that. You got a concussion. You can't even think clearly or properly. Like, that's never going to happen. So I had to refund everybody in Colorado. And my next stop was Kansas City. And we drove to Kansas City, not too far away. And I was still feeling the massive pain from the neck, but still the concussion. I hadn't recovered from my concussion, and I didn't know how long it was going to last. And I made a video for the people who bought tickets to Kansas City, canceling on them. And what I wanted to do was say, hey, I'm here anyway. I'll give you your money back. Come to the hotel, and I'll still talk to you for as long as I can go. And it was the morning, the day before in the morning. And I was making a video, and I thought, I couldn't even finish making the video. I started getting dizzy halfway through the video, and so I paused it, and I thought, okay, we should just cancel this. Like I can't even get through 2 minutes of making a video. And so I tried again at night, and I got through the video, and I said, you know what? I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to last tomorrow. I already booked the hotel. You know, it's non-refundable for me. You guys already booked your tickets. You booked the time off in your calendar. I'm gonna refund you the money because I'm not gonna be able to go for 4 hours like I've been doing in each city, but I'll go for as long as I can. If you want to show up, and I'll try to help. And I went for an hour and a half, and it was the greatest hour and a half, you know, one of the greatest hour and a halves of my life. And my wife had to then pull me off after an hour and a half because I was starting to get, I didn't even notice it, but I was starting to get, you know, woozy on stage. And it was great. I was so pumped because this was, I'm done. I've never been pulled off a stage before. And here I was at my max. And I love the idea of pushing through the pain. Obviously be healthy. Obviously don't be stupid. But a lot of times we pull ourselves back way too soon. We don't allow ourselves to actually test what we're made of, to see how far we could actually go. And so I kept these thanks to my friend, Mark Drager. I don't collect things. I don't have souvenirs of stuff, but he said, you need to save them as a souvenir of what happened, as a memento. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll keep it. And I look at this, I'm like, I'm crazy. I did that? 60 days in this and kept going on tour, and we still did 10 more cities. And I sat at the front of these stages sitting down because I couldn't stand properly. And I had like 2 or 3 pillows behind me and an ice pack over my right shoulder the whole time, and still spoke for 3 to 4 hours every day, right? I still made videos. You can go back on my channel and you'll see me wearing this with like this giant scab or scar on my head because this is where I hit my head on the wall. It's crazy. This is a reminder of what I'm capable of. That whatever max I feel like I'm facing right now is not my max. And I think you're capable of more as well.
Rule number 6, adjust your calendar.
Success equals habits. If you are not reaching the goals that you have for your business and your life, it's because you are not doing the right habits consistently. I say consistently because you are what you consistently do, not what you kinda do. If you run a kinda gotta do schedule, then you're gonna have a kinda okay life and a kinda okay business. I wanna change that in this video. So I live by my calendar. I think it's one of the greatest tools you can ever have, that when you have something that you want to accomplish in your life, in your business, that it's in your calendar. Because if it's not in your calendar, it just remains one of these someday I will do something, but you never actually take action on it. And it's one of the biggest mistakes that people make after getting inspired, motivated. You watch a video like this, you go to a conference, you listen to a podcast, like that was amazing, so much fire. And you might be on fire for the rest of the day, but then you don't follow through because it's not in your calendar. Show me your biggest goals in life and business. Tell me what they are. If I was going to charge $100,000 for an hour of coaching with you, right? This is what I would focus on. What are your big goals? And show me in your calendar where you are spending your time. For too many people, they don't line up. For too many people, they have these ambitions and great ideas, but they just stay ideas and ambitions because it's never actually in your calendar. And so if you don't put the big things in your calendar, you'll never accomplish them. The little things will take over your life. For too many of us, the little things have taken over. And it's not that they're not important, because they are, but small in importance. And so you can tell yourself, I did so much, look at how much I did. But then you look back on the week, it's like, what did I actually do? I was busy the whole week, but did I move forward in any of my goals or ambitions? Probably not. This is a problem. So for me, I like having different things on different days. Tuesday, I make videos. This is a Tuesday for me. This video may not be released on a Tuesday, but I'm recording it on a Tuesday. Because Tuesday, I am making YouTube videos because I want to grow my YouTube impact. Because I want to reach 500 million people, 1 billion people, right? I want to reach the world. And I think YouTube's the best way to do it right now. And so, great. It's amazing to have that ambition. Show me in your calendar where you're spending your time. Well, all day Tuesday, I'm making videos. Wednesday is my project day. Thursday is my public-facing interview day. Friday is my CEO day. Saturday is my fun day with my wife, right? This impacts your personal life as well. Saturday, I'm planning the entire day for my wife that has fun surprises where there's no work happening, not even going to Costco. No, Costco is not fun for me, so we're not going to Costco. Sunday is family admin day, where that's Costco day. That's buy a new couch day. That's do the laundry day. That's whatever needs to be done for the family. And then Monday is mentoring day, spending that with my team, right? I look at my calendar, and this is what you can do. Look at your calendar every week and see what's ahead for the week. Is there a structure to it? If you looked at that calendar and stepped above it and said, if I did these things, will I move closer to accomplishing my goals? Will I make progress? It's not that you're going to hit your goal by just spending a week working on something. You won't. But will you make progress towards it? Is there growth? Is there achievement happening? And for too many people, it's a no, and I think you should change that.
Rule number 7, focus on the right things.
Most entrepreneurs spend way too much time doing things that barely matter. You're working hard, you're grinding every day. It's not that you're not trying, it's that you're spending your time doing activities that are not moving the business forward enough. We need to play bigger and focus on the right things, because you cannot be in the same spot that you're in today 1 year from now. This video is gonna help. So I've got a friend of mine going through this right now, an entrepreneur. She's an amazing entrepreneur. I want to see her win so badly. And she has this very clear path for what she needs to do. Very clear. You have to do this. You got to talk to these people. This will move the ball forward. This is all you need to be spending your time on. Reach out to these 50 people and you will start to accomplish success. And she's afraid. She's afraid that she doesn't have the answers. She's afraid that it's not going to work out. She's afraid they're not going to pick up the phone. She's afraid. She's just afraid. And so she's consuming herself with busy work. She's consuming herself with tasks that do move the ball, but in tiny little increments. That posting on social media, and that touching base with someone in the team, and that logging into the CRM, all these things that probably should happen, but aren't really difference makers for her business. That's what she's spending her time doing. So she can pat herself on the back and say, look at me, I'm busy, I'm doing work, I'm crushing. I went in and I checked everything off my list today, except the thing that mattered most. Except the thing that will actually push your business forward. And everybody around her, this is likely a challenge for you. Everybody around her is looking to her as a leader, is looking to her as this ambitious, go-getter, working hard person. Nobody around her is saying, listen, what you're spending your time on is ridiculous, is not where you need to be putting your efforts. And so she's stuck in this plain small mode, in this land of excuses, where yes, she's being massively productive, but she's not doing enough to move her business forward. And 1 year from now, she's gonna be in a similar spot, slightly ahead, because she was too afraid to take action on the things that she needs to take action on. But now she's got me, and I'm on her every day to say, how are we doing on that list? How are we doing on that list? And suffocating the excuses. Because I'm not buying the excuses, because I know she's capable of more, because I'm not gonna allow any out possible. Because everybody in her life, everybody in your life might be letting you off the hook, thinking you're out there working hard, doing the right things, but you are not. And you need either the self-discipline to do it, or somebody amazing in your life to say, I am not allowing you to play small anymore. It's okay to be afraid. It's not okay to let that fear stop you. Because until you start focusing on the things that will actually grow your business forward, you will never accomplish the success that you're after.
Rule number 8, step into discomfort.
You are not that different than your heroes. The people who you look up to, respect, watch their videos of, listen to their podcasts, read their books. There's not that big a chasm between who they are and who you are. There's a tendency to look at these people who've had ginormous success and say, well, they're just built differently. They're wired differently. I'm not like them. And that mindset, that way of thinking, for you to say that I'm just so different from them, is keeping you safe and small and not realizing your potential. The only difference between your heroes and you is the willingness and ability to step into the discomfort. They were willing to do it, you haven't yet, and we're gonna change it in this video. So on Monday, I was meeting with Alex, who helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa, and he's an amazing entrepreneur. He's got tons of heart and energy and love and care, and he's been struggling to stay consistent. He's working from home right now. We've got coronavirus, shut down, lockdown. He hasn't been on his regular routine. And I was pushing him on Monday to get back on routine. Let's go. Basic things like clean up your apartment and make proper food for yourself and stay on your workout regimen. This should be the time where you stay disciplined. And his response was, I'm not getting it. I'm not hearing it. I can't connect to the advice because I feel like you're just different than me. You're just wired differently. And that is the biggest cop-out, because it allows you to play small. It allows you to look at people who are doing the thing. It allows you to look at me or Lisa or anybody who you look up to, right? Steve or AP or Kanye or Howard. It allows you to look at these people that you love and respect and say, well, that they were just so magical and so different. And that's the reason why they won. And I'm never going to be like that, because they're built differently. You're giving yourself an out. You're giving yourself the biggest excuse and biggest out that most people fall into that trap of. And I told Alex, dude, there is no difference between you and me. Not on this. The difference is my willingness to step into discomfort. My willingness to say, this thing that's happening right now is the greatest. You're sitting there thinking this is the hardest time of all. I'm thinking this is the greatest. That's the difference. The mindset shift, the training that's got in to making that mindset shift happens is the only difference. Not that I'm better or born different or have any other set of circumstances that is preventing you from winning like me. And so I told him, this is a muscle that you build. Starting today, you start building that muscle, right? I'm just a little bit further ahead. I've done more work in the weight room of the mindset, right? And so it's unfair to compare where you're at right now to where I'm at. And it's unfair to compare where you're at, you guys watching, to where Lisa's at or Steve Jobs or somebody else. Because you're not comparing their beginning, and you might be at the beginning right now. And so it starts today. And I told Alec, it starts today. What can you do today to make yourself proud of your effort? The problem is you're not proud of your effort. The problem is you might be posting some things on Instagram and saying, look at what I did today, but you're going to sleep at night. You didn't pass the pillow test, saying you're proud of yourself. What do you need to do today to be proud of your effort? He said, I gotta clean up my condo because it's a giant mess. Like, great, go clean up your condo. And it took him way longer than he thought it was going to take, but he did it. And then you know what magical things happen? He started making calls to the people he needed to make calls to. He started making videos for the videos he needed to make videos for. He started to have more energy and enthusiasm and hope and belief and confidence because he did the difficult thing. Now that's just one day. It's every day deciding to do that same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then that's how you build the muscle. You don't build giant muscles by going to the gym once and working your face off. It's every single day going to the gym.
Rule number 9, control your action.
When you have lost control of your outcomes, remember that you can still control your actions. You are not in control of the market, of your customers, of your revenue, but you can still control how and where you spend your time. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you feel like you have no control. We're gonna fix that in this video. So as I'm recording this video, we're in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak. We're in quarantine. I'm here in my place in Toronto, Canada, filming content like I normally do, but my business is hurting. All the businesses that I'm involved in are hurting. So if you look at my YouTube channel as an example, the views were down, the revenue rates on advertising is way down because people aren't advertising right now. My speaking business is zero. I was supposed to be speaking multiple times this month. It's all to zero. My book tour, not happening. And so all of this chaos, so look at my Toronto Dance Salsa business where we teach people how to dance salsa, the largest dance school in Canada, maybe North America for salsa dancing, and shut down, zero, nothing, not happening, right? I mean, we can't have classes during coronavirus. People are not allowed to touch. So our business was shut down by the government. And that sucks. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to get involved in chaos and say, oh my God, it's all over. Everything's spiraling out of control. I can't control what happens with coronavirus. I can't control what's happening with my students and whether they're going to come back or not. All I can control is what I do. All I can control is how I show up every day. I can still make videos. I can still plan. I can still create content. I can still reach out to my team and ask how they're doing and motivate and inspire them. I could still do activities every day. Where people get lost is getting overwhelmed by just staying in their head, saying, oh my God, this is never going to work out. I don't know what to do. And you're just stuck in a spiral of thinking instead of actually creating. and getting lost in a news cycle and seeing what's happening and checking in 80 times a day to see what the new death toll numbers are, coronavirus, doesn't help you. There's one thing to be informed, and it's great to be informed, and you need to make informed decisions. Amazing. But to be overwhelmed by it, to cloud your thinking so that all you're doing is thinking and not enough action, that just creates a really strong negative cycle and spiral downwards. Because when you're feeling out of control, the way out of it is to control your actions again, to control your thinking again. But if you're not actually taking any action, then you never actually solve the problem. And so it's doing the best you can with what you have. I am still in control of my time. I can still wake up today and make videos for you. I can still wake up today and do my Instagram stories. I can still wake up today and plan what we're gonna do with my salsa business once we get out of the coronavirus, because this is not gonna last forever. You can still wake up today and choose to be productive on the things that will best drive value for your business and for your customers today.
Rule number 10, the last one before our very special bonus cup, act on your ideas.
Whenever I get an idea, I have to do something immediately. Trust your ideas, believe that they're amazing, and manifest them into the world. I love it. I'm not taking it from the approach of, I want this book to be a New York Times bestseller, and I'm sitting there visualizing my book being a New York Times bestseller. I'm not visualizing myself being on Brendan Burchard's stage in Puerto Rico to a couple thousand people. That's not the process that I typically go through, although I'm open to that maybe being a mistake. I don't know. It's never really felt like it's worth it. I don't know. I'm sitting there. I've done it many times, sitting there visualizing. I've never really felt like that made a difference. I'm open to being totally wrong. But how I do apply it, and it's massively seen an impact, is as soon as I get an idea for something, it's go time. Trust that vision that came to you, trust that idea that's in your head, and do something immediately about it. When I thought about the idea of having a house, of building a custom home, I then went off and built the 5,000 square foot custom home. Like inside of the year, we had the whole thing done. When I thought about silly things, like I thought about having a mannequin. I was watching Green Arrow on TV, and I loved how they all had their mannequins when they were in their layer or their realm. They had their outfits, their costumes on a mannequin, and I thought, I feel like I'm the Green Arrow. I got the deep hood. Look, I could be. This is the Believe Arrow, right? I want a mannequin too. And then inside of a week, I had my own mannequin here. And so it may seem crazy, it may seem wild, but that's how I tend to operate. And I think it's amazing. Right now, I'm thinking about doing a 30-day challenge on my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel, where every day for the next 30 days, I have a series of videos to help you build a better life. So like 30 days to a better life. And it's gonna be some of our best work. And I thought of the idea, and now immediately we're doing it. And so trusting the ideas that come to me and then immediately creating them and I guess manifesting them to the world, I am 1,000% all in on. The sitting and visualizing the thing that I want, I have a struggle with, and I'm open to making it better and being changed. Where I faced the hardest time with this is my health. So I broke my neck last year, right? I wore this for 60 days, taking it off for 10 minutes a day. That was it. And I had a concussion, and I had 2 spots in my neck that were broken. And I did some meditation with a guy named Michael Edwards, who led me through this guided meditation, and he helped me, and he was doing it with me in person, over the phone, sending me videos. And first off was getting the concussion away, because I'd never had a concussion before, and the meditation I found really helped the concussion. The second part was the visualization. So I have a bone in the back of my neck that broke off. So the big bone broke and is healed. The little bone just kind of broke off, like the tip, like imagine, I guess, the fingernail kind of hanging loose, right? And it broke off. And the doctor said it's not going to come back together. And it's not worth going and doing surgery on it because it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. And Michael was convinced that I could heal myself and I could make that bone come back together. And so every night and every morning, I would do it twice a day, meditating and visualizing the neck coming back together. And you know, it takes some hand sanitizer or not hand sanitizer, take some lotion and put it on my neck, and just to get more tactical, like as I'm doing it, the bones connecting. I talked to John Assaraf, who is another legendary expert in his field, and he's fully convinced that it can come back together through visualization and through meditation. I haven't done it yet. I haven't cracked the code on how to do it. I wish I did. We did X-rays 60 days later, and it's still just as disconnected. It's still just as, it didn't move a centimeter, a millimeter closer. And that was honestly a little bit, negative or low or defeating. And my motivation to do it as intensely has waned. I haven't been doing it twice a day, every day. I still want to believe that it's possible. And I still kind of believe that it's possible. And maybe that's not enough. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem was I never believed enough that it could happen, and that's why it didn't happen. So I would love for that to work. I would love for meditation to work. I've meditated with I don't know how many different people, so many different people. I've never really felt the benefit of having a meditation. Just feels like I'm sitting down. Nothing wrong with it. Just I don't feel extra clarity or anything coming out of the meditation. So I believe that it has worked for other people. I believe that it can work for me. I haven't found the path to make it work. So that's where I'm still struggling and trying to improve and trying to get better and reaching out to experts, and why I still feature people on my channel, because I'm trying to learn through the process as well. But the idea of taking the ideas that do come to you and taking immediate action on them, right? The last letters of law of attraction is action, doing something, trusting them. I think 1,000% that can serve you. It has served me. I know for sure it can serve you to learn to trust your ideas and do something immediately today about it, and then build momentum towards it. And that big crazy thing that you have in your mind may not even be that big and crazy once you actually start taking some action on it. And so that part I'm 1,000% down on, and you need to do something today in your life to change. And the other side, I'm totally open to feedback, suggestions on how I can get better, how you can get better. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you just get motivated, the sign says you have a 35% chance of actually following through. That's not good enough, Believe Nation. We got to take action. But when you get motivated and then you create a specific plan of action for when and how you're going to do it, your number jumps from 35% to 91% chance of following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like posting down here in the comments below, that number jumps to 95%. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so you can follow through and I can celebrate you. So I've got a strategy called Damn the Doritos, and if you've seen my videos for any stretch of time, you notice there's a bag of Doritos in it at all times. I used to have it right here on my desk in front of me as I came out with the book and we got into book promo mode. I put it to my counter here and we got all these books, so it's kind of hard to see, but there it is. There's this bag of Doritos, and this isn't a small bag. This is a big bag. This, if I hold it up to, this is like 2 Evan heads of Doritos. It's the Costco giant size bag of Doritos, and I have it not because Doritos sponsors my videos. People, it's funny seeing the comments. People think, hey, if you're gonna have a sponsor, can it be at least something healthy? I don't think Doritos is ever gonna sponsor me. My strategy is called Damn the Doritos. Here's why. I love Doritos. I want to eat Doritos. I'm looking at the bag right now and my mouth is watering and I want to eat the whole thing, and I look at the flakes or whatever the sauce is or the powder on it, and I just want to I'm just lost right now in like Dorito heaven. I'm salivating like crazy. I'll try not to drool on myself. I want to eat that all day long. And the common advice when you're trying to stay healthy is get rid of all the junk food in your house. I think that makes you weaker. I think you're telling yourself, I suck. I think you're telling yourself that you're not capable of doing the difficult thing, right? Self-love comes from doing difficult things, not from approaching something difficult and backing down. Now, at the beginning, if you need to get it out of your house, awesome, great. But the long-term goal can't be to have the Doritos out of your house, the junk food out of your house, because as soon as you leave your perfect environment, you're screwed. You're basically teaching yourself that I can only stick to the habits that I say are important to me if I'm in my perfect cocoon of an environment, right? You're teaching yourself that you suck. At least this is how I see it. Maybe I'm weird. Well, I'm definitely weird. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't, but I think the ability to teach yourself that you do difficult things becomes the whole game. Because chances are you watching, you're the most ambitious person in your circle. You're the most ambitious person of your friends, of your family, the people that you know. And they might be patting you on the back and saying, look at what an amazing job you're doing. But you know that you played small. You know that this is not enough. You know that this isn't even anywhere close to what you're capable of. And so it's awesome you might be getting praise from the people around you, but you know that you could be doing more. But you're not willing to do the scary, difficult thing. And you know, Doritos may not be the biggest, scariest, difficult thing, but how do you go off and conquer the big ones? By doing the little ones. There's no way you can go off and accomplish that giant goal of yours if you every day hit the snooze button in the morning, right? That's a difficult thing. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, you have to follow through, because the next time that you set a goal for yourself, you might get inspired by it, but you've taught yourself that you set goals and you don't follow through, because as soon as it gets hard, you quit. So the next goal that you set, you're going to look at that and say, I'm not going to do that. You might believe it in the moment, but then the next day, the next week, you look at it and say, I can't do that. That's the story you told yourself. That's what has to change. That's a difficult thing that has to change. So whether it's, you know, Doritos for you, or hitting the snooze alarm, or anything, daily in your life, having something that's difficult that you're taking on, that you're coming up to face, and you feel your heart beating, that you're nervous, you're afraid, you're worried you're going to let yourself down again, and then not doing it, right? Don't let yourself down. Jump into the action. Do the difficult thing. That's the foundation for all self-love, all self-confidence, all self-respect, and your ability to go off and actually accomplish that big, scary, crazy goal of yours.
If you want to watch another top 10 rules of Evan Carmichael, check out the video next to me. I think you're going to enjoy. Continue to believe. I'll see you there.
Why you're here, what your calling is, how you're going to serve, the message you have, the one impact that you want to have. It's crazy. Like, you can't live a happy, fulfilled life until you know what that is.